Yes, it's Friday. Thank God for that. Listen, I wish we could do a behind-the-scenes thing of difficulties we've been having tonight.
You know,
Nicky's had a power cut. My Wi-Fi's playing up. Scott went missing and couldn't find the code. They look like he's been kidnapped. Dan couldn't get his framing right, and Graham's just Graham.
Yeah, I'll just. Yeah. I'm last minute.
Anyway, how are you? Anyway, Nicky should be along in a little while. He's just waiting for his power to come back on. So he'll be joining us shortly. How you boys been anyway? All right.
Hold up! It's going to be a 5-star band tonight.
Well, we're going to be 5-star
now.
We're going to be a 5-piece in 2 weeks' time, live on stage. So we might as well get used to being with each other. Tickets are still available, by the way. Link is in the description below. But go on, how are you?
Sunburned after yesterday.
Blimey.
Yeah.
Go like that, Dan. Put your head on Dan. Cool, blimey. Oh, that looks a bit.
Yeah. Well,
that looks proper. So that does.
Well, when you
put some half the sun on that, then.
We met up to do so. I thought it was supposed to be inside, and it turned out to be outside, and it stitched me right up.
Dan, you're normally wearing an hat. You're normally wearing an hat over. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where my hat is, but yeah, I need to. The thing is, there's been no sun for ages. It's pissing it down today. The one time I decided to go out and spend a lot of time outside, the sun's just blistering up. So, yeah, I've been stitched right up there. Unbelievable.
Hey,
me, Nicky and Dan. Yeah, I'm all right, man. I'm still trying to get over Burnley. Nick's wedding last week with you two. Great weekend away. Really enjoyed it. Congratulations once again to Nick and Charlotte. It was a great day, great weekend. But yeah, me, Dan and Nicky met up yesterday to do some filming with the Premier League. Based on the last game at the bowling. So we met up at the old ground, which was sad to see, but looking forward to seeing how that comes out. Did you enjoy that, Dan?
Yeah, no, I did. Like I said, apart from the sunburnt thing, like I said, we were supposed to be filming inside the bowling, but the bowling pub, but it never happened. But yeah, it was good. And, you know, the three of us, we had a lot of laughs and that going around and filming. And, you know, there's points where you're trying to be serious, you know, and you make eye contact with one of these and you start just cracking up, like, you know, they're trying to get nice, serious shots. So
when Ryan goes like that, when Ryan gives you a little.
Yeah, well, there's things like they tell you to walk, right? As soon as they tell you, can you just walk from one side to the other, right? When you're told to, you forget how to walk naturally. So you start doing some sort of weird show walk. And then like, try it again. We've got to be natural because you're fucking thinking about it. And then you make eye contact. So
that's it, mate. I've done a few bits before, like filming and stuff like that. And that's the funniest thing. They just tell you, be natural, walk natural. And the only thing you don't do is walk naturally.
Yeah,
they said to me as well, fold me arms. I forgot how to fold me arms. Great. When Dan was walking, he looked like E.T. chasing the ice cream van. Oh, good laugh. I'm looking forward to see how they piece that together, and it was good to relive their memories of that final game at the bowling.
Dan, can I ask you a question, though? Dan, can I ask you a question?
Go on, mate.
Was your dodgy walk as bad as Jason's slide tackle?
Now, nothing.
That's all I want to know.
Jason's. Joey, listen, Greg, can you sign Jace up so I want you to train him. I want to do a video where Graham teaches Jace how to play football. You know, because you could put a tackle in with the best of them, Gray. You got to teach him. He needs to learn. He's diabolical.
I don't know. Looking at that video, mate, I was like, it was
he
like
is your illegitimate son, isn't he?
Boris Johnson just run into that kid. That's what it was like.
Yeah, that was what he was like. But I think as your illegitimate son, I think you owe it to him.
Oh, I'll teach him.
Good. Well,
anyway, I mean, we're going to try to wait for Nicky. We'll give him another little bit because I know we want to get stuck into the tonight's topics. There's loads to talk about this week. Transfers. We signed someone.
Yeah.
There's more rumours and there's takeover bids and there's loads to talk about. But before we move on, I did announce yesterday on Twitter that Friday Night Pint, we are being joined by a good friend of the channel, Mr. Jimmy Walker, former West Ham goalkeeper and funny man. And the man loves a beer He's got some great stories. So he will be there with us on Friday Night Pint Live on the stage. And listen, tickets are still available. There's not many left. I'm not going to lie. So the link is in the description below. Get on it. Get there. It'll be this time in 2 weeks. We'll be there. We'll be on stage this time in 2 weeks.
And,
man, isn't it?
And Jimmy has got some great stories, hasn't
he? Yeah.
You need some great stories from Jimmy Walker.
Ones that definitely won't put you asleep.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be mad, isn't it? Like doing it on stage. We've always done it. We've just been us and the camera, you know, and now it's you got X amount of people just watching you, waiting to be entertained.
What we'll do, we'll take Jimmy out in the garden. We'll recreate the penalty save that he done against Lampard. But yeah, no, it's going to be a great night. I'm glad Jimmy. When I wanted to get a guest on, you know, there's a few people I could have asked, but he was the first person I wanted on there because I just love him. He's a great bloke, and I know he'll have a good laugh. And he's up for it. And he messaged me the other day, and he was like, "Look, I'm just waiting for the go ahead. I've got a few things to move about." And he messaged me yesterday, and he just said, "Yeah, up for it, up for the 13th. Looking forward to it, boys." So that's good. Looking forward to it.
It's going to be good, mate. It'll be a good laugh as well. Be a good laugh. Yeah,
it's on either the Premier League season as well.
It'd be nice to meet. It'd be nice to meet a few people, you know, people from the chat who are coming. You know, people we've seen throughout the year on the chat. It'd be nice to put some names to faces.
Faces to names.
Faces to names.
Faces to names, even.
Yeah, that and all.
Yeah. But it's going to be funny because there'll be people going on and going, "Oh, I'm Dave." And it's like, you know, who's Dave? And then they'll say, like, "Oh, it's like, I don't know, like Eltel 1010. Like, oh, that's, you know, you know from their chat, from the names they have. But some people don't have their real names; they have like a username, didn't they? So
everyone should have a name badge when they come in with their username.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll recognise them with their little profile picture next to it, so we can recognise the profile picture.
That's it, mate. That's it.
So
I'll tell you something. Why I'm still recovering from last Saturday night.
Oh, mate.
It takes a longer.
We was only going out for a couple. We was only going out for a couple. That's the thing.
Fancy having a wedding on Sunday. I mean, I know you can't really resist if you're going on a Saturday, but you must have been really fucked up for the wedding.
No, do you know what? It was all right. It was
all right.
You know what? It didn't actually feel like a Sunday. It was mental. Like, because this week has just been, because it feels like I've lost a day somewhere during this week. Because, but we went out on, me and Graham got there about, what time did we get there? About 3?
Yeah, just after 3, wasn't it? Yeah.
Checked into the room, went down for a couple of beers. Scott turned up about an hour later. We went back to the rooms, all had a shower, whatever. Come down, met up for something to eat, and then the shots come out, and that's where it all went wrong.
Yeah, because
I blame my wife and Scott's wife.
Yeah. No, because the thing is, Dan, right, we said, we'll give it to about 10:30, 11, like when it closes, have a couple of beers, and then we'll go to bed, like, you know, big day tomorrow and all that. And then Ryan and Scott's missus went, we'll just go to the toilet, come back, Jaeger bombs, Sambucas.
What?
And it all went rapidly downhill from there.
And it weren't downhill, Greg, because we was running uphill to a shop to get a bottle of Jack Daniels and what was it?
Pink gin. Me and Scott sprinting up this hill.
I tried to sprint, but my shorts kept falling down.
God.
So,
shout out to my mate Usman, by the way, trolling me in the chat.
Is that?
No, my mate, he's got his own channel. He's trolling me in the chat.
He knows you will, then.
Yay!
I was going to say he's bang on there. He's bang on. Well done, mate.
Yeah.
Listen, whenever I go on his channel, I bring the footballing brain in there with the top opinions. So he should catch stuff like this.
Just for anyone in the chat who don't know, we're not talking about Nicky. Nicky wasn't the guy who got married. It was Nick from Cross Dammers. It was his wedding, not our Nicky's.
Nick Tucker. No, Nicky's getting married next year now, isn't it? Yeah, next year now.
Yeah.
I'm losing. I don't know what day of the week it is. I don't know. I had my second dose the other day as well.
You've been doubled up.
Ready to take on the world. Ready to take on Corona.
You get your passport then, wouldn't you?
I had mine day before we drove up.
It was funny, like, because this second one, it felt a little bit more bruised, but I was so tired, like late at night, it nearly knocked me out. But that's all done now. I'm all double dosed, and I went out for a few drinks on Wednesday, a few cocktails. Yeah, it was nice. I've had a good week. Got another week off work. So, go on, mate.
What a lovely view, though, eh? What a lovely view.
Beautiful view, mate.
Beautiful view. Beautiful view.
Shout out to Dan the Man, £20 super chat, says, would have loved to come, lads, but won't be able to make it, unfortunately. Have a beer on me, though. Cheers, mate. Really appreciate it.
You know what? I thought he was going to say I can't afford the ticket, but I thought you just give us 20 quid. I would have sent him a ticket.
Take it back, yeah.
Now, hopefully we'll have more. If this one goes well, fingers crossed, then we might have another one towards the end of the year. So, right, shall we...
a Christmas special.
Yeah,
yeah, we can all dress up. All dressed up.
Yeah, no, like you said, there's definitely a lot to talk about. Obviously, a lot of transfer.
Let's start with a positive. We made a signing. It's a goalkeeper. Scott, I know you weren't overly keen with signing a goalkeeper. It's not a priority, which I agree. But I think Fabianski needs a bit of competition. We've got the right man, calling him a sort of journeyman. Because he's been at a few clubs, but he's only 28. You know, he's. I think it's going to be a decent signing. I think he might take Fabianski's place.
See, now, as much as I said it weren't a priority, when you sit back and look at it, it sort of is. Fabianski's been a bit injury prone over the last season or so.
I've never known a goalkeeper to get injured in warm up so much from Fabianski.
You know, Randolph's. He's an all right keeper, but he's not that level, is he? He ain't Fabianski's level.
He's an international, like he's played international level, so you can't go, he's an all right keeper. He
plays international level for an all right national side, mate. They ain't special, let's be honest. So don't,
how many caps you got? How many caps you got?
16.
None. But he ain't about
it. He's still good enough to get picked for his country.
Yeah, because there's no one better.
Like I say, he's not a bad keeper. Huh?
No, I'm not. No, I didn't say that. I just said he's not Fabianski's level, is he? He's not.
No, but
Ranio's level.
He's done a good job for us over the years.
He's done all right. Yeah, he's done all right for us.
All right, let's have a Scott and Graham rant.
I didn't see him go shit. Did I?
No,
I just said he ain't as good as Fabianski. So because he played Brian,
he's not.
Hang on, let me just pause you there, you two. Dan, should we go down the pub and leave them to it?
I want to get the popcorn. I want to get the popcorn out. This is brilliant. Go on, Graham.
But going back to what I'm saying, right? So he's not brilliant. He's done a decent job, and Martin, Martin's had one good game. He come in, and then again, decent keeper, but not brilliant. So now we've got two keepers who are going to push each other, and that was the problem when Fabianski got injured. Bringing Randolph in, we were a bit more shaky at the back. Now we've got a top quality. I'll be honest, he's coming in as Fabianski's replacement. I can't see Fabianski getting a game until the League Cup now.
28's young for a keeper as well, isn't it? He could be like, if he breaks into the first team and keeps up the levels, like if he breaks in as the main keeper, he could be looking 8-9 years.
Why do you say that, Scott? Why do you think that we automatically dropped Fabianski? Because
he's a better goalkeeper.
Yeah, we might push Fabianski on though. Push Fabianski on to better,
But he's
like you say, it's competition, isn't it? He's at the same level as competition. They push each other along, don't they?
Yeah, I think Areola will be definitely one for the future. I would just think that maybe there'll be a little bit more of a transitional period for him to take that number one from because I think Fabianski had a great season last season. He was a bit shaky the season before, but he was back on form last season. And he's got 1 year left on his deal. I think this could be his last season, and there's some sort. I mean, there's going to be a lot of games to play, isn't it? With the Europa League, the Carabao Cup, the Premier League. So
I agree. I think Fabianski starts the season as number one, and then eventually Areola will take over and be the number one. And I'm excited now that we've got two really good goalkeepers at the club.
Yeah.
Because we've
Did
always
you hear how much wages he's on though? Do you hear how much wages he has? This geezer's Areola.
No.
Apparently he's on 140 grand a week.
Yeah, we won't be paying that though, will we? We'll be
no,
paying
I mean, but if we want to sign him because it's we've got an option to buy, haven't we? Or obligation option. I think it's an option to buy. Yeah. So if we do exercise, that's a lot of money.
The thing is you're bringing him in now, 28-year-old. You know, he had a fantastic season last season at Fulham. You don't sign for PSG if you're not that good. So so he's a top quality keeper. Like you said, we won't be paying all of that wage. That'd be
and he was.
If we do want to sign him, he'll automatically be our highest paid player at the club, which is
and he was thingy, wasn't he? He was in the World Cup, France's World Cup winning squad as well. So you can call him a World Cup winner if you want.
The thing is, Dan, if you
I agree with Scott. I think they'll gradually work him in to replace. I think, like you say, Fabianski will start as number one. I think, but
I think we find out
gradually working in over the season.
Scott didn't say that, Gray. I said that, mate. Don't get him.
Yeah. So I agree with that. But also agree with Scott that I think they'll gradually, as the season goes on, you'll probably see him get more and more games. Like, it might be the League Cup to start with, but then you might see him in Europa, FA Cup, and then maybe.
That's not what Scott said. Scott said he comes straight in at the first game of the season.
No, Scott said you'll see him like. No,
I didn't. I said he'll be number one from the start.
That was me.
Fabianski, you said Fabianski.
No, that was Ryan. Ryan said that.
Said that as well.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Ground control, the major dog. Anyway, that's as I said, that's one signing in, so we still need about another 20. But yeah, I mean, one rumor that came out yesterday that it took me a little bit by surprise was Kurt Zouma from Chelsea.
Yeah,
that came out of the blue, didn't it?
Decent, would be a decent signing in my opinion. If we can get him, he's 26. He's not been. I think he started made 13 appearances since the new manager come in at Chelsea, so he doesn't fancy him that much. There was links with him that he was going to be part of a move to go to Seville and their defender to go to Chelsea, but apparently he wants to stay in London. West Ham are after him. You happy with that? Would you be happy with that as a signing?
Yeah, he's a really good player. Yeah, he's a top player, and he was one of their better centre backs than one of their regular ones not too long ago, weren't they? It's all about the price, isn't it? Like we've offered apparently 20 million, and it's 8 million off of what they want, and then you're thinking like, we really need a striker badly. There's where that money needs to go. Are we going to spend that much on? Even though we do need a centre back as well. Are we going to spend 28 million?
He was on loan at Everton, wasn't he, a couple of seasons ago? He played for Stoke as well on loan. Right. I think he'll be a decent signing, but he might come as a sort of package deal if we're after Abraham as well. Apparently, Chelsea have dropped their price on him. Then maybe they could work something out as a double signing, because Abraham is, I think is what we need at West Ham. I mean, we've been linked with that Barcelona striker, the one that used to play for Middlesbrough. Is it Braithwaite?
Yeah.
30 years old. I don't know. We had that rumour with him last season and the season before as well. He's becoming our new Carlos Backer, isn't he? Getting linked with him every window. But I think Tammy Abraham, he's only 23. He's got a good goal scoring record at Chelsea. I think he'll fit West Ham. I think there'll be two great signings if we can get them over the line. I just hope that they're not going to be part of a Declan Rice deal.
Yeah, you know what the funny thing is? I see some sort of, I don't know if it's like a Chelsea journalist or whatever, and they was basically saying, West Ham don't want to pay 28 mil for Zouma. They don't want to pay 40 mil for Abraham, but they want 100 million pound for Declan Rice. And I was saying the difference is that Chelsea want to sell Zouma. They want to sell Abraham. We don't want to sell Rice. That's why we're slapping that price. That's basically jog on price, what we're putting on there, that 100 million. We're not selling.
It's pricing him out of the market, isn't it?
Yeah, they want to sell. So if you want to sell, you have to sell at a price that people are going to pay. Otherwise, you're not going to sell the player. That's how it works.
I've got a feeling that even probably the Zouma and maybe Abraham, like I said, with Abraham for me, it's where his attitude's at. You know, you've got to be looking now. As said, he's still quite young. We've got a World Cup coming up in 18 months. He's out of favour at Chelsea. If his attitude's right, he'll come in and be good for us. That's what worries me. This is what I said before when we were speaking beforehand about Abraham. A £40 million price tag on him, I don't think is a gamble that we can afford to take. But if his attitude's right and the money's right, then bring him in. You know, we can't go into this season with one striker and one striker only. We'll just fall flat before the season even starts. You know, we're bringing Zouma in. You know, it's an upgrade on Balbuena. It's an upgrade on Dawson. You know, you've got Obona. You know, Obona's been absolutely solid. But again, when we're looking at the history, Obona's had his injury problems. You know, he picked up a knock before the Celtic game. So then we're going into the start. You know, if that was an injury that keeps him out, we're going into the start of the season with Dawson and Diop, and that partnership didn't really thrive. So you know, bringing Zouma in, I think, is a very, very smart move. We've got the other youngsters as well coming up who have got a bit of game time in pre-season. So you know, there's cover there. But if we're looking at this, that we're going to be going Sunday, Thursday with his Europa League, we need decent players. And, you know, the goalkeeper's one, Zouma's another. Bringing Abraham, you know, he's got plenty of experience. So as his attitude's right, we should get a decent player.
Apparently, Diop wants to join us. Apparently, Diop has made Zouma wants to join West Ham. Apparently, he's told them that that's where he wants to go. So, and that, which, you know, if a player wants to join the club, it makes it, you know, that much better, because they want to be a part of the club. They want to join you, and it's not just they're the only club that are offering, you know. So it'll be in, and I think that will be good. That will be.
The thing is, as well, you've got to look that if we do get Abraham, we still need to go and get another striker.
Yes,
we're too light. We're far too light, because I don't want. I'd love to see Antonio play a full season without getting injured. But I just feel at the minute we're the same situation we were when we had Andy Carroll. If he's fit, and that's what it all boils down to. If Antonio's fit, no one gets in front of him, because he is integral to the way we play. But when he's not fit, we've got nobody, and this is the big problem. And the thing with Abraham, I can't see Abraham coming in to play second fiddle to Antonio.
Yes, but then it all goes back to, again, we've got a lot of football to play.
Exactly.
Hopefully, if we at least get a decent run in this cup, and so we know it's a case of when Antonio gets fit, and if Antonio gets injured, which I don't want to put that on him, but it's likely if you're going to bet money on it. So then it's on to Abraham then to keep that place and stake his claim. And, you know, if he's playing in the cup games and he's banging in goals, he's putting good performances, it's on him to try and, you know, dislodge Antonio from that position. Or we've got options, because Antonio is obviously traditionally a winger, so you can play Antonio on the wing and Abraham up front, and that could be a good.
The thing is, Dan, there's going to be a lot of rotating this season, the amount of games we're going to have to play.
We need the players to rotate.
So you know, if you can rotate quality with quality, that's all the better, really. Yeah,
that's how you got to look at it. You have got to look at, you know, at the moment now, you know, 2 decent goalkeepers. We've got three good centre halves, another centre half to come in. That gives us 4 good centre halves. You know, we've got all right, Creswell, if you play the 3 at the back, you say he's a 3rd centre half. And that's the other thing with Zouma as well. Zouma's played in that 3 at the back as well as playing in a 4 at the back. So he's giving me experience in the way we want to play.
Yeah, I reckon that's probably a big reason why Moyes fancies him.
Yeah, you know, Kufal's number 1, Soufal's number 1 right back. Fredericks is a good cover, so long as he stays fit. Masuaku, we saw, you know, had a decent season last season, but again, if he stays fit, it's just, you just sit there and look at that side and you're sitting there thinking, if he stays fit, Masuaku, Fredericks, Lanzini, we've got quality players there if they stay fit.
That's West Ham all over, isn't it? It's West Ham.
You can see I was getting a few of the comments up as you was talking because there were some good comments coming through, so I was just putting them up on the screen. But most people were saying like they're for Zouma. They'd like to see like a combination of Diop and Zouma together, two young centre backs. Look, listen, I'm not against the move. You know, as I said, it took me a little bit by surprise. I wasn't expecting it. But look, if that's the player Moyes is identifying, and Abraham as well, then look, I've got no problem with David Moyes. I think what he's done at the football club since he's come in, the signings he's brought in have been top quality.
Yeah, this is it's just none of us. This is the thing. None of us know the budget that Moyes is dealing with. So none of us know is if we sign Zouma, is Abraham off the table, or is another like £30+ million striker off the table? I'm gonna have to go off the cheap. Like, it's so hard to really say what the situation is there. So it's going to be interesting. I want to quickly. Someone asked for Demi Tight said any updates on Pereira. I read this today that apparently there's a Saudi team, and I can't remember what the name of the team is, but they are interested in signing Pereira and putting him on. Was it something like 140 grand a week and making him like one of the second highest paid players in the league, and that's a lot more, I think, than we're offering him. So it's going to be on him whether he wants.
It's what he wants as a football player. I mean, he can go out to Saudi Arabia and earn the money, or he can come to West Ham and he's got Premier League football, European football. He wanted to come to London. So look, if a player wants to chase the money and look at Arnie, look what Arnautovic has done. He went to China, everyone's forgot about him, and now he's going to Italy to sign for Bologna or whoever it is. I mean, it's ridiculous what these players do, and they earn so much money in their career these days. It's not like in the olden days when they used to earn nothing. But it's
unlike
it's up to him. But
Pereira's a lot younger, isn't it? That would be even worse for Pereira because he's so much younger than
I can still see a deal for Jesse Lingard happening towards the end of the transfer window. I can see him coming back on loan for the season.
Alone,
I'd love it.
Because if we was to loan him, we'd get him for free next season anyway.
Yeah, I think there'll be something. There might be something like where we loan him, and then in January we have to buy him and get him at like a cut price deal or something. But I just don't know. I know he's been playing for Man United in pre-season, but I just think with what Man United are doing and the signings they're bringing in, maybe with Rashford being out now for the next 3 months, they might not let him go, but. I can still see something happening with that. And if we could get him Lingard and Pereira, that'd be a great bit of business for West Ham.
Yeah, we'd have a lot. We'd have a lot of depth in that area, then, wouldn't we? We probably still need a centre midfielder that can play in that sort of Rice, Souček, Noble. Obviously, it's Noble's last season this season with European football. Probably a bit of depth there, unless we can start to see if certain youth players can step up and we can bring them in.
Well, he's been very impressed with Connor Coventry during pre-season, and the two youngsters up front. I can't think of his name now.
Okoflex.
That's the one. Yeah. I'm just going to call him Reflex.
Reflex. Okoflex ain't that hard to say.
I keep forgetting it. But yeah, he's looked impressive. So, yeah, you never know. There might be a couple of these youngsters that might step up for the first team during the Europa campaign and the League Cup and the FA Cup because, as you said, there's a lot of footballs playing. Conor Coventry is very comfortable on the ball. He never looks out of place in the first team for me. So, look,
this could be season, isn't it? This could be.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some good youngsters go over the past few years, and especially like Josh Cullen when he left, when he went to Anderlecht. Which was a move he couldn't turn down, to be fair. He was never going to get in the first team at West Ham. And like people were saying about Nathan Trott, I think he's gone out on loan. Nathan Holland's gone back out on loan now to Oxford. He was having a good pre-season. So I think Conor Coventry, because he hasn't gone out on loan yet, there might be signs that he might be involved a bit more. I mean, you watched the game. I mean, I didn't watch the game last week against Celtic, but I see the highlights and we look really good, you know. We look comfortable. I mean, it's a massive season for Benrahma this as well because what he's coming out with in the interviews that he's been doing lately is what I want to hear from a player. He's setting himself targets. He knows he's got to improve, and he's working hard. And that's what you want from a player.
Yeah, I think he'll shine this season, Benrahma. I think this is going to be the season where he settled in that first season, and now
it was a little bit tough for him last year. It sort of when he was starting, he sort of knew he'd be coming off at some point, or maybe
it was
this thing. It was a bit on off for him, and but when he was playing, I thought he was creating chances, and I think once he got that first goal, I think that was a massive weight off his shoulders.
Yeah.
Last year it was a little bit hit and miss, not through any fault of his, but it was he was in, he was out. He couldn't really get into his proper stride.
It was the same with Buck, because what Moyes would do, he would chop and change between Bowen and Benrahma. And Bowen was the same. Bowen would never finish in 90 minutes. So Bowen would come off for Benrahma, then Benrahma would come off for Bowen, and none of them could really get a run of games in. So with the extra football, hopefully they can.
So, Ryan, instead of having both Lingard and Pereira, because realistically it won't happen, who would you rather have out of the two? Sorry for putting you on the spot. Out of the two, I don't know. It's difficult because I like Lingard. I think he done great for us, but Pereira's younger, isn't he? And Pereira's similar sort of player. So, because of an age thing, I'll probably go for Pereira out of the two, if I'm honest. But I do like Lingard, and if we got Lingard instead of Pereira, I wouldn't be disappointed.
Yeah, you're sort of weighing up the options, isn't you? Because, like you said, Pereira's got the youth on his side, but Lingard's got that European experience. So it's tough.
And he's done it in a West Ham shirt. We've seen him do it at West Ham. So
right. His form dipped a little towards the end, but he was explosive. And let's be honest, part of the reason we finished where we finished was because of him coming into the side. So he's going to benefit us if we do get him, but. He
hadn't played football in ages, didn't he? He hadn't played football in ages. Come out, exploded straight out the traps.
He burnt out a bit. Burnt out towards the end, didn't he? But Pereira had a fantastic season at West Brom.
Pereira.
Pereira. He was by far probably one of their best, if not their best player throughout their season. Yeah. So he's done it in a poor West Brom side. A side that in the end were playing Route 1 football. So he'll add something if we can go out there and get him. I said I think Coventry is looking good enough to step up. That win against Celtic. I know it's only pre-season, but you're taking on a side there that had Champions League qualifiers to play. That game was sandwiched between their two Champions League qualifiers, and that's the sort of opposition in the early stages of the Europa League. What you probably be playing against. Sides like Celtic, who, in their own leagues are dominant, but when it comes into our league, they're not that competitive, and that's where we need the bigger depth, the bigger squad. And that could be a stage for Coventry to step up and shine. It could be like with the League Cup, where you saw some of the players come in and raise their games a bit and show what they're about. That could be Coventry's way in. Playing in the Europa League, because we're not going to be able to play Rice and Souček week in, week out, twice a week. We'll by the time we get to Christmas, when you add on top of the World Cup qualifiers, the fact that them two are going to be practically first names on the team sheets there's a lot of football that our players are going to be playing and our key players are going to be playing. So, Moyes has got to use his squad very wisely this year. And I think there'll be games where we're going to have to sit there and there's games that are going to get sacrificed, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, we always want to see our best first team 11 out, but you can't always do that when you've got so many games. Like I said, you've got 38 guaranteed league games, 6 guaranteed Europa League games, the whatever it's called now, the Carabao Cup or fucking whatever it's called, the Lucas Aid Cup. I don't even know what it's fucking called anymore. The FA Cup. There's a lot of football to be played, but Nicky's just messaged me. I don't think he's going to be on. His power's still not on, and he can't do it on his phone because the lights is dark. So if it does come back on, he said he'd join us. But
tell him to not worry about the look. You can't see Graham's face, can you? But he's still on.
Tell him to go around Graham's. He can borrow some of his light.
I'm only on for an hour anyway. I've got a.
Well, you've got another 30 minutes.
Then he's staying at the Dream Trio.
Someone mentioned about Traore from Wolves, and this was something I saw. I think a couple of weeks back or something. A lot of people was talking about getting Traore and basically doing an Antonio and playing him up front. And I think his end product has been awful as a late. And I think just because it worked for Antonio, just because it worked for Nalbich, don't mean you can just put every sort of strong, pacey winger as a striker and it's automatically going to work. I think that's a bit lazy just to assume that. Stick him up front and he'll just be like Antonio or Arnautovic. You know, I wouldn't like to see Traore at this stage at West Ham.
I would.
I don't know.
I would. I think
it's
as a striker.
Yeah,
it's an upgrade. It's an upgrade on Antonio.
Really?
Yeah.
Antonio's got much better end product than.
Now he has. When he first started in the striking role, he didn't.
I mean,
you look at Antonio when he went on that run of scoring goals when he first started scoring. Most of them with his head coming off the back post. You know, Antonio playing as a striker, you saw the improvement in that Celtic game, the way he finished his 2 chances there. You know, he's improved massively. But you look at Traore now to where Antonio was when he first started playing as a striker, I think Traore is better.
I mean, his goal scoring record isn't anything. It's 3 goals and 41 appearances just gone, 6 in 54, 1 in 36. You know what I mean? Like, even though, yes, he's a winger, you expect more. Like, Antonio from the wing was banging goals.
Who's upset Scott tonight? Who's upset Scott?
Scott's on one, but
no, I'm just being truthful. I'd take
Traore as a player, but I wouldn't say he was better than Antonio. I'd rather Antonio. Fully fit, I'd rather have Antonio. As a striker, I think Antonio's improved so much with his finishing as well. I think Antonio's better when it's instinct.
Yeah.
Imagine Traore down the wing and Antonio up front. Can you imagine that running at you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
As a
defender.
I
just think he's a bit of a pace merchant for me, Traore.
So is Antonio.
Yeah, but Antonio. I think he's got a little bit more to offer than.
I just think 2025. That's positive. Yeah, what we need to look for in a striker is someone that can hold it up and play up there on his own when we need him to. A bit like what Antonio can do, but we just need someone a bit more. You know, I want an old-fashioned sort of striker. I want someone that, you know, I love players like, you know, how Jamie Vardy plays just on the shoulder all the time, looking for them runs. Danny Ings is the same. You know, so if I know we've been linked with Danny Ings, I don't think he'll come to us, but I'd love a striker like Danny Ings, someone like him.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell you, you mentioned Arnautovic. I'm very surprised we didn't go in because didn't he go for like 3 million? And I heard Moyes wanted to bring him back, so I'm very surprised that we didn't go in for.
I'll be honest, mate. I wouldn't surprise me if that information that Moyes was keen on Antonio wasn't leaked by certain people to gauge the reaction of the fans if we did bring him back.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I don't think the reaction was the reaction that would say, no, we can't do it. Do you know what I mean? And I think a lot of people were saying that if that's what Moyes wants to do, we'll back him. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm still not. So a lot of people were saying they still couldn't completely forgive him, but they'll back Moyes. So very interesting that we didn't go out and for such little money get him, and then we could get another striker.
Richard's donated $4.99, chucked it in the kitty. Thank you so much, Richard. He don't want Antonio, would rather have Morelos from Rangers or Ings from the Saints. Yeah, Morelos is. I've seen a couple of people mention about Morelos.
Does he mean Traore? Because we've got Antonio.
Maybe it means he don't want Antonio up front or something. But yeah, I mean, with Morelos, he reminds me of. Do you remember El Hadj Diouf? He used to play for Bolton and Liverpool. Yeah. Obviously, West Ham fans, we don't like him because he spat at our fans once. But yeah, no, look, he's a bit of a hothead. Morelos, good player.
Sent off a few times, didn't he?
I think he gets sent off every other game. He's one of these players. Like every time I watch him, he's either kicking someone or punching someone off the ball. That's the sort of player like you think, yeah, he'd fit in well at West Ham.
That's a proper old-fashioned centre forward, that, isn't it?
Yeah, when he's not suspended.
I don't even think he's that old either. I think he's only about 24, 25, something like that. He might even be a little bit younger. I might be wrong now, but Would I take him? Yeah, I probably would, because we'll probably get him for cheap, because I think he's got a buyout clause for about 5 million or something like that.
Yeah,
it's just a disciplinary record, and the fact that he's playing in the SPL. You know.
Yeah,
Scott, you love the SPL.
No, look, again, I know it's only pre-season, but you saw, you know, the SPL runners up. We dismantled them with ease. So, you know, you can't. It's with Scottish players. With players who play in Scotland, it's really hard. Look, there's been some fantastic players play out there. Don't get me wrong. You know, Henrik Larsson, when he played there for Celtic, you know, he was a world-class striker. And you know, they have got good players up there who can cut it in the Premier League, but it's just a gamble.
Very own Paolo.
Yeah, it's just a big gamble with a player from the Scottish. Scoring goals in the Scottish Premier to scoring goals in our Premier is a big difference.
Yeah,
big difference,
massively. So
there's been some decent players that have played in Scotland, Scott.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, there has been some decent players. Yeah,
one of our ex-players, Super Johnny Artson, Paolo Di Canio, Al Berkovic, Ian Wright.
I
don't think Scott's saying that players are not good. It's just more of a gamble. Like it's hard to judge by looking at what they do in that league to say, will they be able to replicate it in this league in some.
What about
there was a guy
Robinson though from Liverpool who played for Liverpool. He signed from was it Dundee or someone like that?
Yeah. But they got him when he was young. That's what I said. I'm not saying that all the players playing Scotland are crap. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying there is some good players up there. What I'm saying is when you've got a striker scoring goals in the Scottish Premier League, it's a big difference to scoring goals in our Premier League, and that's why it's a bit for us. It's a gamble. You know, there was a guy who played for Rangers years ago. I can't remember his name, but he banged in goals for fun for Rangers, but never ever got picked up by a Premier League side because his quality weren't good enough for the Premier League.
Yeah.
Ali McCoist.
People are just going to keep saying good players from the SPL at you now, Scott.
Well, the thing is, Ali McCoist actually signed for Sunderland, didn't he? And it didn't work out for him, and he ended up going back to Scotland. So
that's what I'm saying. These people saying, you know, like Virgil van Dijk and all that. Yeah, I get that, right? And that's what I said. There has been good players there, but what I'm saying is there's players who look really good in Scottish football, but come down to the Premier League and can't cut it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, go on, Dan. I'll let you read this super chat, mate.
Richard K, 99 super chat. Thank you, Richard, mate. Don't want Abraham or Zouma. Either would rather have Shaqiri on loan with Ings in and Maitland-Niles and Loftus-Cheek. If we got those, we'd be sorted. I really rate Loftus-Cheek. I thought he was one of the standout players for Fulham last season. Maitland-Niles, I'm not too sure about. Obviously, everyone's a big fan of Ings. It's just his injury record, isn't it? And Shaqiri's an interesting one. Some interesting names there.
Thing is, Loftus-Cheek is a bit injury-prone as well. Good player, but he's a bit injury-prone, isn't he?
Had a lot of injury.
Me and Scott were talking last week, weren't we? Billy Gilmore gone out on loan to Norwich.
Yep.
Should have been someone we should have been going for.
Missed the boat on that one, mate. Massively missed the boat on that one.
I don't think Chelsea had loaned someone like Billy Gilmore to us. We're sort of their sort of rivals, isn't we? So
this is what Graham said to me, right? Now, you loan a player who you rate quite highly to play for us that's going to benefit us. We've got to play your rivals. He doesn't play against Chelsea, but he plays against the Uniteds, the Man Cities, the Liverpools, the teams that will be challenging Chelsea and in around Chelsea. So if you think he's that good a player and he's going to benefit, why not send him to one of your rivals? It's the same as what Mourinho did with Mata when he sold him to United. Yeah, he sold him to United because he couldn't play against Chelsea. Chelsea had already played United, but he knew he's a decent player and he's going to go on to play, play against rivals and probably nick points of them. Billy Gilmore is perfect for our midfield. And I just really think we've missed a boat on that one.
I'm not a big fan of loaning players that you're just going to have to give back anyway, and there's no chance of signing them, because they can come in, fit your team really well, then they leave a big hole in it.
The thing with Chelsea, Dan, what you've got to remember is it's not guaranteed that Tuchel's there the end of next season. You know what Chelsea are like. They chop and change them. So, and it's whether he's guaranteed football. Probably look, at Norwich, he's starting all day long. He's by far better than what anyone they've got in that centre in midfield. So you get why it's a good move for the player. I just think you put him in the midfield with Rice and Souček, or even a midfield alongside one of them. You're strengthening the side. You're strengthening that midfield because you're not. We need to find that third man in that midfield. Billy Gilmore can pick a pass. That kid's got a better range of passing than what Declan Rice, what Rice has, and what Souček has. And then having him there will allow Souček to bomb forward a lot more. So then you think
loans are going to be. I think we're going to be looking at a lot of loans this summer. I think that's going to be. We're going to be getting quite a few in. So maybe, that is something they can look at because there've been a lot of talks about we're going to loan this player, loan that player. I think there'll be more loans than buys by the look of things, which isn't bad. Like I said, I think that Areola. I know I'm going back to that, but if you can get in a loan and have the option to buy the player at the end, I think that's good. A Lingard, that is the disappointing thing is we didn't have that chance to sign it. It was just a loan, but I think that stuff like that is good business. Like if you get Pereira on loan with an obligation to buy, you're sort of giving yourself a little bit more time, and you can.
What is the limit on the loans? Is it one domestic or two?
I thought it was
two domestic, isn't it?
Two domestic. So it's two domestic and two foreign.
I thought it was 5 in all in total, wasn't it? I thought it was 5.
Is it 5? So it might be 2 domestic, 5 foreign then.
I thought it was 2 and 2, but
could be wrong. Yeah. So so we've got one in. That's a foreign one. That counts as a foreign one. So then we got 2 domestic then, and if it's 2 foreign as well, that's one more.
Who did we have on loan to start last season? Dawson.
Benrahma.
Because that's why we had to make Dawson.
We made Benrahma permanent, didn't we?
Was it Benrahma first?
We made Benrahma first in January, and then at the end of January, I think a little bit late, we made Dawson.
So we had to get one of them permanent before we could bring Lingard in on loan.
Yeah. So it's going to be very interesting. It'll be very interesting. But I just
Kent Hammer says 2 domestic, no limit on abroad. Look at Fulham last season. So that again leads fuel to the fire with this takeover rumours as well, doesn't it? The fact that we're not really venturing.
What a segue, Scott.
Yeah, let's get into that. Let's talk a little bit about this takeover news that come out this week with is it Pie Capital?
Yeah, I think it is
Pie Capital. I don't know what to think of it, really. It's, we had it last year, didn't we? When Spencer Owen was sitting there talking to someone on another screen saying that it was all going to happen by November and this. Now you got Tom Skinner from The Apprentice coming out saying it's all happening. I see the tweets earlier saying that they're going to change the badge. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. And it's all right saying that. If it don't happen, you're going to look like the Prats. I don't really know what to think of it. I can't see it happening personally.
I've had so many rumours, haven't we? It's hard to sort of get.
Yeah, I think this is different to the Football Insider with Spencer Owen because that geezer was saying it's guaranteed that the club will be sold by Christmas. That's going to happen. Now, what's happened is Sullivan's confirmed there's been a bid. Pie Capital's confirmed there's been a bid, and what this Tom Skinner's saying is Skinner is saying is he spoke to them and this is their intentions. So he's not saying that they're gonna definitely get the club or this is gonna happen. That he's saying this is what he spoke to them and this is what they've said that they want to do with the club.
Yeah, but that's anyone can say that really. They're going to say things that they know that the fans want to hear. But it's whether they come in and do it. Because if they come in and they don't do it, then we're just going to have another GSB situation. Because they
would say that about any new owners.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But new owners could come in and say, look, we're just going to concentrate on building a squad. Straight away, they're talking about doing the stadium, changing the badge, owning the stadium, doing it. They can't do all that straight away. You know,
but maybe they're not talking about doing it in one. That might just be. I mean, we've got to see their timetable, and they might be condensing their 5-year plan into just some bullet points of here's what we want to do. Maybe like we know the stadium, they're not going to come in and get the stadium. That's probably going to take a little bit more time. That's a very sensitive one. The badge, if they came in and bought the club now, the badge couldn't be done probably to the end of the season. Well, it couldn't be done to the end of the season. And invest in the squad, we know that's going to take a few seasons to really build that squad.
I mean, I see a few people. I haven't really read too much into it because, as I said, at the moment I'm not really taking any notice of it. But I know that the company's worth 19 billion or something like that. And look, if the money's there and they can invest in the team and they want to build us up and become a London version of Man City or something like that, where they're just going to go out and buy names and look, we're all for that. You know, we want change, but I don't know. I just think it's all a bit. It always seems to come around the transfer window, doesn't it? Things like this when we're not signing anyone, there's always rumours of a takeover to take your attention away from the signings, and then all of a sudden the transfer window is shut and it will just go completely silent. And there'll be no takeover rumours. Then come January, it'll be the same again. So
I read the latest tweets he done because for the people that don't have Twitter and that and might not have seen it, just to give a bit of context. So I won't because he done a video, he done some other tweets, but I'll just read the latest ones. Right, this Tom Skinner guy, he was on The Apprentice. He sells mattresses. He's a big West Ham fan. So I'll read this. Right, he said so. The guys at Pi are serious. I know what their vision is, and it's brilliant. I can't share too much. I don't want to make anyone's trust, but I can say, firstly, they will invest in the squad, which we so desperately need. They want to pump money into the youth academy and work on our facilities as they're not great. But most importantly, they want to transform the Olympic Stadium into a proper home from West Ham, be our fortress. And I've asked them if we can change our old badge back, not the new one. We don't like it. They are 100% football people and lots of West Ham legends behind this deal. I don't want to excite many people, but honestly, this is great for our club. And I know lots want the new owners out. Nothing will change unless they accept the deal. And then he's talking about hopefully we get this done. So I think that's very interesting. And even it's not just him that said this. We've heard these rumblings that there are ex-West Ham players that are involved. We can guess some of likely of who those names are. That is an interesting one because these proposals would have had to go past the players. Now, if these ex-players are involved, that makes you feel a little bit more like, okay, maybe these could be the right people. Do you know what I mean? That they've signed this off. And, do you know what I mean? They see the vision and they actually think, yeah, we can get behind this.
I mean, the bloke from Pi Capital, is it Philip Beard or something? He failed at QPR, didn't he?
No, but the difference is he's not going to be doing the job that he was doing at QPR. Like his job, he's basically going to come in and employ a chairman, right? That's the thing. So what he's going to do is he's just helping facilitate the sale and is part of this consortium, but he's not going to be running the football side of the club. So he's going to employ a new chairman, which they haven't got in place yet, and they're going to run the day-to-day football side. So imagine they do it and he employs Sullivan. Could you imagine?
So he's basically the face of the consortium.
Yeah, pretty much. Like that. What was that other American consortium? The geezer that actually bought some shares in the club. He was like the face of that consortium. He actually bought some.
What's his name? Yeah, the pension fund bloke.
Yeah,
pension fund.
Yeah, there's a few, but it's one of those. I mean, we know that the deal was they made a bid and it was about £500 million. We know that's happened, right? Because Sullivan said it's 400 million. Philip Beard said it was 500. So, but we know that the board rejected a bid. Trip Smith, that's it.
Dan, someone said there, isn't Philip Beard the guy that's changed the old O2?
What?
Turned that into what it is now, from being the Millennium Dome to the O2.
Oh, do you know what? I'm not sure. I mean, if he has, then that's a success on his belt.
I could be wrong. I think I've heard that before, but I don't know.
I will quickly verify that. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's a success on his part because the Millennium Dome was a fucking money pit.
That's the thing. There's companies. Shambles, isn't it? Yeah, there's companies out there that are earning big billions. You know, there's one company I can't remember my name, but my brother done work for them this year, and they turned over 56 billion this year. In the middle of a pandemic, they're turning over that sort of money. Look at what Amazon are doing at the minute. They've got money all over the place, and I think the only reason they're not dipping their toe into football ownership is because they want to do the football live streaming. So obviously, then they can't have a bit like with Murdoch at Sky, can't have his fingers in a football club because it's breaks whatever rules they've got in place. So there's money out there.
Right, Scott, by the way.
It is,
He spent 2 years as executive manager of O2 Arena. Someone said that, this is interesting, but I can't see this being true, that Tony Fernandez is supposed to somehow be behind it. Now, I would have thought he was still at QPR. Obviously, Tony Fernandez is a West Ham fan who was trying to buy the club at the same time GSB was buying the club, and GSB offered him to come in with them, but they didn't want to give him the control that he wanted, so they went and bought QPR. Now, surely he can't be if he's still the QPR owner. Surely he can't be involved in this.
No, didn't he?
I thought he sold up.
Did he sell up? I thought he sold up.
I think he did.
I'm sure he did. But anyway, it hasn't worked. Didn't work out for QPR, did it?
I thought he sold up around the time of that Malaysian air crash because his company took a massive hit financially. But again, I could be wrong.
Someone might know in the comments down below. So Forever Folks said, "Dan, what does consortium mean, matey?" So it's basically like a collective, isn't it? A group of different interested parties that are coming together.
Yeah, it's basically if us four wanted to all go and buy something, we're a consortium.
Yeah,
it's the easiest way to put it.
Yeah, so
individual interested parties coming together in one group.
Yeah, someone said
that's the well-educated way of putting it, Gray.
Yeah, someone said that consortiums have no money. I mean, it depends, doesn't it, where the money's coming from? I mean, it depends on the individuals in the consortium.
Yeah, that's it. You've got to, if in the consortium, everyone's got to be agreed to how they look at what the plan is when you're coming in to buy the club. Because it's not worth. All four. So look at us four, right? So all four of us put our money in to buy a football club. 3 of us have got the ambition to move the football club forward. The 4th person just wants to make as much money as possible out of it. And that's the thing. You've all got to be pulling in the same direction and have the same vision and the same ideas. Otherwise, it's not going to work. You look at say 3 of these guys coming in could be, or 3 of these people coming in, could be well invested in it, and the other ones could be like the Glaziers, just want to palm off a load of debt onto a football club.
Are there any clubs with consortium owners? Because I always hear about consortiums wanting to buy clubs, but they never manage to seem to get the clubs. And I can't think of any clubs that have consortiums that bought them off the top of my head. Especially not Premier League.
I think in the lower leagues there may be a few. But that's more like fan-led consortiums to save the club.
I mean, we've had loads of consortiums interested.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing as well is that obviously there's a few West Ham legends involved, which they know the football club, they know the fans. So if there is any sort of truth in it, then I'm all for it because we want GSB gone and we want a new beginning at the football club. But I don't know. I just think there's something not right about it. It don't feel right. I'm not excited about it because I don't think there's something. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it's just something about it. It just all sounds a little bit dodgy to me.
The thing is as well, it's like you said right earlier on, it's we've been down this road before. And that's why
we got our fingers burnt with the Icelandics as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
I don't think the Atlantics were bad. I think they were unfortunate though. I
don't think they come in to deliberately sort of, they had the best intentions for the club, but
to anyone.
At the end of the day, we almost went bankrupt over it. So
but that was so West Ham. That takeover was so West Ham.
They had so much
loads of money, chuck money at it. The whole world goes into a financial crisis, And
we nearly went into administration.
Yeah, that was just unfortunate, wasn't it? And it's a shame.
I'm not saying they intend come in. They had the best intentions when they come in, but it didn't work out. So you just got to be
I mean, John's saying it there. If it sounds too good to be true, it usually is, and that's a great way to sum it up. And look, as I said, we'll keep our eye on it. We're probably in more over the next few days and weeks, and who knows? You know, we'll want to see a change. So
obviously, because we have been burnt before. Everyone's a lot more skeptical because when Golden Sullivan came in, we were all like West Ham fans as Brian the club. You know what I mean? This is going to be brilliant. They're going to really have the club's best interest at heart. And we got burned massively. So now everyone's jaded and a bit skeptical.
Well, the thing is, when they first come in, they did, as Graham said, they took over from the Icelandics and they cleared a lot of shit out of the club. And they sort of, because we was on the verge of going out of business when they come in. So they come in as owners but they've taken us as far as they can. They've probably outstayed their welcome by about 5 years, if I'm honest. We just need them to hand it over to the right people now. And if Sullivan is waiting for, well, we know what he's waiting for. He's probably waiting for the biggest bid. And that's unfortunately because he's a businessman at the end of the day. But let's just hope that when they do eventually sell, it is to the right people that have got the right intentions for the football club and don't want to just treat it as a fantasy football game and just screw the fans over and, you know, leave us in a bigger debt.
It's going to be very interesting. I don't want to see Sullivan's kids running this club. I think.
Oh no, I don't think they will. I don't think they will.
See, someone put in the comments earlier that Simon Jordan said we're worth. I think they said 700 to 800 million debt free. The biggest problem with us is we're not debt free.
We're not debt free. We're still in fucking 100 million quid.
And this is the thing. So if you're looking, if their bid's 400 million, then they've got to clear 136 million pounds worth of debt, I believe.
I can spill all my drink everywhere.
So that's technically a bid of nigh on 550 mil. But as I've said, and Sullivan does not go anywhere until the bid he wants comes in, and he doesn't want a bid to come in until we've got the keys to that stadium. The day we get that, I've said this all along, the day we get the keys to that stadium, he is going to sell the club because he knows we get that stadium, the price of the club just skyrockets. Absolutely skyrockets.
To be honest, Mikey, I think I'll take Simon Gow at the moment. Can he play out front? Louis Walsh on the wing.
Oh my god! Could you imagine
morning goal? Oh no, we don't need any more goals. Louis got
from Golden Sullivan to Cowell and Walsh. That would be. I would rather. No, I think. Yeah, you're right. I'd rather them. But on
Pete,
what you said,
Pete Waterman is director of football.
Pete Waterman. He can. Imagine that. He'll have Russ playing all of these old hits. All these old Stockgate and Waterman songs.
Yeah, we come out to Locomotion.
yeah, exactly. But you know what? Another point on what you were saying there, Scott, is about them getting the ground. There's the other point of next season. I believe it's supposed to be the end of this season is when they can sell it without giving up any percentage of the sale to the owners of the LLDC.
Yeah.
So that is very interesting. Maybe they're holding out for that.
It's not the owners of the LLDC. It's the taxpayer.
Well, the LLDC are the people that they have to give the money to, and they're the custodians, isn't it? Yeah, like because they're. It would have been, from the understanding I've got, it's 40% of any profit made. So if you think if he say Sullivan wants 500 million for the club, you've got to pay 500 million plus the debt plus 40% on top of that. How much did they buy the club for? How much did they get the club for?
Golden
Sullivan.
80 million.
Is that it? Fucking 80 million, yeah.
Dan, listen, right? David Gold is on record. He turned around, I'm sure it's Gold, turned around and said, when the Icelandics took over, he turned around and said, I can't wait for West Ham to be relegated because then we'll buy them on the cheap and bring them back up. So they knew what was going to happen.
God.
They knew they've listened. Them two blokes have played the game and they've played.
It was them that took us down.
Yeah, them that took us down.
Yeah, but it was only because the Icelandics went broke.
Yeah,
they
had 2 full seasons before they went down, Scott.
Yeah, but they still went. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They still went broke.
They employed Avram Grant.
Yeah, like it's. Stevie Ray reckons it's 2023 that this thing comes in. Yeah, it's confusing, like what the actual date is. But
that's another 2 years of GSB, mate.
Oh no! Years. I mean, it doesn't mean they have to.
Boys.
Oh, you got to go,
Graham. Been a pleasure. I've got to go. It's the end of the month. If I want to get paid, I've got to do my invoices. Exciting.
Why are you doing during working hours, Gray? Why are you doing earlier?
Yeah, like most normal.
Because I was working. So
it's not a healthy work life.
That's all right, Gray. Graham, you talking about invoices? I've got to invoice you for them drinks from last weekend. So we'll be getting an invoice coming through soon.
Graham didn't buy no rounds, did he?
There's
cheeky sod.
That's what the Ryan's implying.
There's a few people saying that there's been a sell out, mate.
Should we take some comments?
Mate.
Read some comments out.
I mean, Tim's right. Tim's ruined the moment there, because I was just about to say there's a lot of people saying about we've had a bid accepted for Braithwaite, and then Tim saying that X is saying that no offer has been made. So I'm going to go with Tim, because I know X is usually bang on, and the other one was Clarence Hugh. So that says it all there, doesn't it? But cheers for that, Tim, mate.
Stephen Gold says, let's read some comments. He will sell the club to his son Jack. I mean, I would imagine he'd just give it to him.
I thought Stephen Gold was going to say, stop fucking slagging off my family.
Yeah. Could you imagine if he actually sold it to his son like Jack? Right, sorry, Jack, you got to buy the club. We want our 800 million for it.
No, he sold it to him for like £1 or something like that.
Let's see. What else? There's some comments. I think us West Ham fans have the right to be dubious about any buyout offer. We have put up with too much already. The thing is, right, it's just a case of stick or twist. You know, that's our option. I know we don't have any say in it, but it's like if you had the chance, like if it was down to us, what would we do? What would we choose? Stick with Golden Sullivan or take a punt on some new ownership? You know. And the thing is, I would hope that any new owners have seen how we've made things very uncomfortable for Golden Sullivan, how vocal we've been over the years, and not want the bad PR that Golden Sullivan had, and maybe try and do things a better way. Not necessarily make us a Man City, but try and at least run us a little bit more competently.
To be honest, mate, yeah, look, you want success. I'd love to see the club be successful and win trophies and stuff like that, but just having
consistency.
Yeah, when Golden Sullivan come in, they stabilise the club business wise. You know, they've not, like Ryan said, they've took the football club as far as they can as a football club. The club as a business is absolutely fine, but it's not the business that the fans want to see. The business that we want the business side to be good, because the business side is good normally means the club is good. The problem with these two is the business side is good, the club side's shit. You know,
the business side, I don't even feel is. You look at, we moved to this stadium to be a big brand, but even like the sponsorships and things we get aren't even. You know, we get all of these little tin pot companies where we have to add up and.
But Dan, what you've got to look at is you've got to look at the business side of that. Is that you're putting? It's not about their brand being on the side of your shirt. It's about the fact that, like with the.
But they don't. What I'm saying is they don't. Because they're smaller companies, you're not getting the money that you would get from bigger brands.
What you're doing is like we signed up. One of them companies was based in Africa. Yeah. So you're then getting the name out in and around Africa.
I mean,
so it's about the club being. It's not so much about these little companies coming in and getting small sponsorship deals for us. Yeah, it's brilliant for them because they're getting put on a worldwide stage, but then we're getting put out in places that we may not normally reach.
I mean, would you if say Michelin, they started saying like, oh, we're partnered up with this Chinese club, would you then start to go, oh, Michelin's partnered with the Chinese club, I want to go and start to maybe support that club and see what they're about?
But that Michelin then, if they're advertising in another country saying Michelin sponsors of Beijing United's being put out in that other country.
Yeah, it is. It's just about.
It's a branding thing. That's all it is. You know, it's pointless having little sponsors because them for a Premier League football club, them little sponsors don't really do nothing apart from that. They just get your name out in other places.
it's been attached with it's a big brand. This is a good comment. I hope whoever buys the club pays Sullivan installments over 60 years. Do you know that would be? He's just bloody desserts, wouldn't it? Go right, that's it. You got to wait for it.
Yeah, the thing is, though, we just all want the right person to come in to take this football club forward. As you said, you can get this Pie Capital come in and they could all be West Ham fans, and that's great. But if they've not got the money to take us forward and move us as a club, it's that's what we want, investment on the pitch. As much as we want the stadium and we want to feel like home, for me, the most important thing is getting the results right on the pitch and getting the right players.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want them to just come in and just start making the stadium look nice, but we're in the Championship.
Yeah, no, that's it. And you, it's not like we want to see us going and spending £100 on this, 100 million on that player, 100 million on this player. Wires investment in playing stuff, getting the right players to fit the system that you're backing the manager in.
Just go to Moyes, right? Okay, so here's the budget. Say they go in right this season. The budget is 100 million plus any players that are sold. Right, they might come off the bat. Then that gives Moyes the option to go. Okay, right. I need my main striker. I want to go get my market striker. Bang, sort that out. Then we'll get the backup, so he can then go and start to get and fill those roles and really improve the squad. All he needs is the money. He just needs to be given the money.
The thing is, though, as well, is with these owners, sometimes they look at it as they want a big name manager. And they might start thinking, no, we want to sort of like just like a Mourinho type, a big name manager. And then David Moyes might find himself out of a job. And then you think to yourself, like, do you really want to see owners come in and do that? Because I don't like it when owners come in and do that. I really don't. Yeah, I'd rather us go the sort of Leicester route, because we all talk about Leicester week in, week out, of how great their football clubs run. And I'd like to see us do what Leicester done, just build up, getting a good manager to settle them. I know it didn't work out for Ranieri in the second season, but their owners are second to none. And what they do for their fans is great. We've been there a few times, Scott. And
I thought they were harsh on
their fans a 3 point.
No, I was going to say, because remember Ranieri got them to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, didn't he? I know they weren't doing great in the league, but you would take a shit season in the league, wouldn't you, for a cup run in the Champions League in the making the quarterfinals, wouldn't you?
Go on.
No, I was going to say, I think with Ranieri down, I think it was more the fact that he was tinkering when he didn't have to tinker. And I think the board, as well as the fans, were getting a bit frustrated with the changes that he kept making. When they won the league, he practically had the same sort of starting 11 most of the way through the league, and that's where they went. Then when he started tinkering with players, and you got to remember they won the league off of the back of the manager previously going on that fantastic run that kept them promoted.
Yeah,
kept them stopped them being relegated. Yeah. So he sort of jumped on that train.
You don't get enough credit, Pearson. And
that's the thing. It was that form that he showed from when he took over, or when they were down at the bottom and he pushed them up the league. That carried on into the next season. And then when Ranieri started putting his players in the side and started tinkering with the way the team played, it started falling apart a bit. And that's why I think they got shot of him.
But that's why everyone sort of tried to call that after that season, called Leicester a fluke. But they've always been up and around there, and take the title away. If they don't win the Premier League title, but they're still where they are, they've still done much better than us. And what Golden Sullivan, they've sort of done what Golden Sullivan wanted to achieve with us, what said they would. But like I said, they didn't have to move stadium. They've just gone about it.
How long we had Golden Sullivan now? 10, 11 years?
Yeah,
right. So in that 10 years, Leicester have gone from League 2 to League 1 to Championship, to winning the Championship, to winning the Premier League. We're winning the FA Cup, Champions League quarter-finalist. It's crazy what they've done in the last 10 years compared to what we've done in the last 10 years. But
and you've got to remember, they've done that with fans at the forefront of everything that they want to do. That's the thing. I think the Leicester owners with the Leicester fans will get a hell of a lot of leeway with things because the way they treat their fans. With GSB, they've never.
And during that 10 years, we had a chance to sign Jamie Vardy for about 1.5 million, but we turned it down.
Yeah, that was it. When Big Sam said that he spoke to Sullivan, and Sullivan said to him, "Will he be in the first team straight away?" And Sam said no, and he went, "Right, we won't buy him."
No, he went, no, we won't buy him, but it's Willett and Pallister instead.
Yeah, and
but the same way, we had the chance to sign Kante as well, but we went with Obiang instead, and it's just stuff like that. Like,
I don't know, mate. I don't think Kante would have scored that goal at Spurs away like Obiang did. So I'm glad we got Obiang.
Yeah, later on. Could you imagine though having Kante in that last season at Upton Park? You know, where that was the piece.
If we had Kante that season, we win the league.
Yeah, I think that is the difference because
this is no disrespect to Les Ferdinand, but Glenn Roeder could have signed Didier Drogba, but he chose Les Ferdinand. So it's through our history we've always been that near. Oh, we nearly got them, and then they go on. And
Neymar was one of them.
Yeah,
we had a chance.
We're the only team that could have Mascherano on our books and make him look awful.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
He was shit for us, wasn't he? He was so shit for us, and went on to play for Barcelona.
The funny thing is, when you watch him back, he weren't shit. It's just every other player around him weren't that good.
Yeah. I suppose. Yeah, in hindsight,
of his level of intelligence, the way he plays. Yeah. That's what I mean.
Even Tevez, like to start with, when he didn't ground running, I was sort of like, after all the hype, I was like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, why? You know, you'd expect us.
Funny enough, you're talking about Tevez earlier. They played. It was on Sky Sports Classics, and it was when we played Tottenham at Upton Park when Tevez scored his first goal. You know, we went 2-0 up, and he jumped in the crowd. They showed the whole game. I watched it up to that bit, and then I turned it off because I don't like what happened after. That was terrible. That game. I still remember that now. Seeing old little Mark Noble crying, and I thought that was when we got relegated that game. I thought that's us out of it, but then we went on that great run and got out of it in the end. But any other West Ham related topics you want to talk about?
I think that's all the main West Ham. The third kit came out. Do you like that?
Yeah, I think the under-23s are winning again.
I think the third kit's quite nice, very smart.
Me and Nicky was in the club shop yesterday. We was in the club shop at some point, and we was looking at the kits, and it looks to me when I look at it, I'm not a big fan of navy, like a lot of navy. Except I like the top that you're wearing. I think it's nice, but it didn't really do much. It's not bad, but it's not great. But that home shirt does grow on you. It's just the badge.
As I said, I see someone in the home shirt last week walking around and they had the Europa League badge on it. And I said it looks much better in person than what it does on the thing. It's one of them kits that I think you'll sort of get used to. The away one, I'm not really a great fan of it. I prefer the navy one, if I'm honest, to the away one. But
yeah, they had the purple third kit in there with Allah on the back. I was tempted to buy it for Nicky. It was like selling it. They had a rail of players that we've got rid of, and they've had them all in their clearance.
We should get him that for his forfeit and make him wear it for an home game.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. That is.
Yeah, do you know what? The fact that it's a small as well would even be at like double forfeit. He has to try and squeeze into the small.
Like fucking Savaloy.
I'll be honest. I don't mind all three of the kits. I think they're all quite nice. I prefer the third kit. I really like, and I like the home kit as well. But the third kit I like the best out of the three.
See, Angus is right. That 125 badge I thought was nice because it was the closest to a traditional looking badge with that little band at the bottom, sort of like what we had with the old badge.
Yeah.
That was nice. I really liked that badge.
That was much better. I mean, they could have kept that, and obviously, I know it was the anniversary. Yeah.
What they could have done is just changed some of the words.
They could have just put 126 years on it every year. Just change it.
Add a year.
So we don't forget how old we are.
Someone asked, I think it was Gary, asked our thoughts on, it's not West Ham, but our thoughts on Man City buying Grealish for £100 million, which has obviously been our asking price for Declan Rice. Apparently it's all but agreed and ready to go. That's crazy, that they've gone for that. I know you're a big fan of Grealish, right? What do you think of that?
Yes, well, I think if City get Kane and Grealish, then we might as well just all sit back and just hand them the Premier League title now because it's ridiculous. And that's the difference between billionaire owners that can go out, and that's what I'm talking about. Fantasy football is that they just go out and buy these players. I mean, do I think Grealish is worth 100 million? I don't think any player is worth that sort of money. But I like Grealish as a player. If he can just get that diving out of his game, it's very frustrating. But as a player, technically, he's class. But look, Aston Villa, if that, it's in their hands, isn't it? If they want 100 million for him, they've got to pay, City have got to pay the 100 million.
Well, and if they're willing to pay it, then
what Villa have done very smartly is they've already signed Grealish's replacement.
Yeah.
So they've signed a player to play in his position, whether he's there or not. So they've been very, very smart in what they've done. They knew with Grealish they can hold out for the 100 mil. They haven't got to sell him like us with Rice. We shouldn't let Rice go for anything less than 100 million, but we should also have a replacement in mind if we are going to let him go.
That's the thing. I just think that they're hesitant because the reaction of the fans won't be good if they sell Grealish even for 100 million. I see a lot of the fans. You can't sit there and hold a player back.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of Villa fans come out and said they're wishing well if he left the football.
No, I think it'll be more not so much anger at Grealish, but anger at the sale of they don't want to see him sold. They obviously want to see him stay.
No one wants to see their best player sold, do we?
Yeah. I just think they'd be right. You see, with us, if the club, for me, if someone came with 100 million and the club accepted that, I wouldn't begrudge the club for accepting 100 million for Rice. I think you can't turn that down personally.
I agree. I totally agree.
I think their mindset is a bit differently. They don't want to sell him under any circumstances because, he's very much loved. He's their academy boy and that. But
You look at Grealish. Grealish is no different to our stance on Rice. Rice is the best player in our squad, right? And to replace Rice for us, you can't name a player out there that is going to sign for West Ham that jumps in Rice's spot in the side. Do you know what I mean? There's nobody out there now. Every player that is good at the position that Rice plays is already at a top club. So you're going to have to hunt around and try and find a little gem that no one's picked up on, or you've got to try and entice a player from a bigger club to come. So, you can't. If Rice goes for 100 million, the club's got a good deal. You can't sit there and say, "Oh no, we shouldn't sell him. We shouldn't sell him." £100 million for a club like us. I don't care who the owners are. We can't turn down £100 million for
I suppose the differences between us and Villa, and I think Villa fans have been used now to the point of with us, we know that our owners haven't really spent. Have they got money? What's our financial situation? Where Villa have just been splashing money season after season now, so they feel like they don't need to then sell him to reinvest or whatever. And it's I agree with Gravy 27 here. He says Grealish is a snake, lads hate me. I don't think I've ever hated a football player as much as I hate Jack Grealish. I absolutely, and he could be a nice bloke, but everything about him I despise from what I've seen.
The thing that what lets him down is the diving side of it, and if he gets rid of that and if he takes that out of his game and he goes to Man City and he goes and plays on the big European stage. He's only about 25, something like that.
25,
26.
Yeah.
So he's got some good years ahead of him. But Harry Kane, for me, if that deal happens, as I said, you might as well just give them the title.
Do you think that they would still, if they spend 100 million on Grealish, do you think they'll still go out and they still slap 150 on? You think they can?
Yeah.
The FP has been relaxed this year, isn't it?
You look at City in the past. They've not really spent. What's their transfer? 60 million, highest ever?
Yeah.
But then they went and bought two right backs for 100 million in the same season.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They spend 60 million, but they spend 60 million.
Exactly. So it's a case of you could probably look at Guardiola said, right, we're all right everywhere else. I need this player and this player. Let's go get them. Break the bank to get them. So they'll break.
I'm just thinking now of Man City coming to London Stadium and just looking and having De Bruyne in the middle of the park, feeding Kane and Grealish. And I just think we lose 5-0 when they put our reserve team out.
Yeah. I mean, that was the best thing that Moyes fucking done last season was us not getting absolutely smashed by Man City and actually giving them a game, because it had been season in, season out, 4-5 past us.
Same with Liverpool as well, didn't it? We got our asses handed to them a few times, and we put in better performances. And maybe if we'd gone for it a bit more against Liverpool, we may have got something out of it. But
it's because it's the Irish thing why he hates. That's why he hates Grealish, but he's allowing Rice because he's West Ham. It's funny though, a lot of the Ireland fans that aren't West Ham fans but aren't Villa fans, they seem to go on more about Rice than they do Villa for some reason.
Strange. There you see, with the financial fair play, it doesn't come into City that much, because City put all when they've got money to spend, they put it through their sponsor.
Yeah.
So it's all because they're sponsored by, practically, like David Gold said, they're sponsored by a country. So when your sponsors investing money in, it isn't taken into account of the financial fair play, because the financial fair play is meant to be you can't spend more than what you earn. So
however,
when they want to pay,
financial fair play has been relaxed anyway this season, isn't it?
Yeah, because of all what's gone on. Yeah. But when with City, and I think it's the same with PSG, their loophole is that it's their sponsor giving in the money. So the sponsors investing money or paying into the football club, which then allows the football club to go and pay ridiculous amounts of money.
They've still got in trouble for it, didn't they? I know they ended up using their lawyers to get, because they was going to get a Champions League ban and things like that. And then they took their army of lawyers to go and put that to bed. But even though that there is that loophole, that somehow obviously they're even still falling afoul of the financial fair play. Maybe that's wages, maybe because it's wages or something. Could be something. I don't know, but it's mad. It is, it's a mad one.
Yeah, no, it is. It's mental what you have to pay for a football player these days. But as we've been on now, there's a few more tickets. Well, I say a few, about 3 tickets gone for Friday Night Pint Live. So thank you so much if you're still in the chat. And it was, I think Dan the Man was one of them that come up. So I thought that was you, Dan. I thought we've won one.
Yeah, do you know? That's it. I've just got to buy some.
So, the link is in the description below. As we said at the beginning of the show, and we'll say at the end as well when we give it a little push. It's going to be a great night. It's basically a little drink, little piss up before the new season. Everyone's been locked up for a long time now. We haven't all been together, the 5 of us, in a pub. I was trying to think of this. I thought it was the Arsenal game, but Graham wasn't there. No. So I can't remember the last time all 5 of us were.
Stag do.
Probably my stag night, and that was in November, right before the lockdown. So it's been a long time, and there's some good people coming. There's people that we know. There's new people that we've never met. There's going to be, as I said, Jimmy Walker's going to be there. It's going to be a really good night. So get your tickets in. It's going to be this time in 2 weeks. I think we'll be well on our way to Pissville.
Yeah, I want to quickly. That's very much needed. I tell you that. I want to quickly show this. Actually, talking about badges. I don't know if you can see that, but
it's a little.
See if it focuses.
Oh, I see that one. Is that the one with the castle in the background, like faded?
It's got the castle. There it is, right, and it's got East London. And that's beautiful.
Yeah, I see that the other day as it goes.
That is, why the fuck couldn't we have something like that?
But that's the thing though, Dan. It's like the concept kits, isn't it? The concept kits are better than the normal kits. It's just what
It's always better than what you really get.
Our GSB look at it, right? The East London doesn't sell.
But it's still got London in it. It's still
it don't matter. They look at it, the brand is London.
Even still, that is even without the East London.
I like that.
That is still on much.
Yeah, that's a nice badge.
How much do they pay? Because these actual people who design the fucking actual badges and the actual.
Imagine we had something like Eastside Massive on it.
Eastside Massive. Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
About Canning. Yeah, I wouldn't like to see Canning Town in there. Don't put no Canning Town. If Ryan and Nicky had their way, and Scott, you can in Canning Town as well. They had their way. They'd have
can't help where I'm from.
Exactly.
Yeah, well. Bloody Canning Towners.
Technically, I was born in Mile End, and then I was loaned to Canning Town for the remainder of before I moved out to Essex. As you do in the East End, you grow up and then you move out to Essex. That's what most people do.
Yeah, it's. But I suppose you have a quick bit of ask us anything before we.
There you go.
It read my mind.
Look at that. You know what? It's people. Matthew said about GSE. I don't know if people see my tweet the other day. When I was coming home, I was waiting for the train. I was at Fenchurch Street Station, and I was standing outside the bit where they filmed that bit. You know, in the film where the GSE go up and fight the Man United fans. That's Fenchurch Street Station. And I love that, seeing that bit, because it just makes me laugh, because even in the film you can see it's Fenchurch Street Station. But where's your famous GSE?
They should have a little plaque to commemorate. This was filmed here, like where they do all the iconic films. Have that for that. Chris Will says, have you been watching the Olympics? What's worse? What's the worst event you've seen? For me, it was the horse dance. Do you know what? It's completely passed me by this year, the Olympics. When I was growing up, I used to always watch it because my mum would have it on all the time. She loves the Olympics. It would always be on there, so I'd watch it. But now it's like all the events, like you hear, this event's had a gold medal already, and you're like, fucking hell, I ain't got a chance to watch it.
It's because you think. I think it starts about 1:30 in the morning. They start, and that's the thing. I've been watching it when I got up because I'm off work at the minute. So I've been coming down and watching it.
Funny enough, I'm the same. I haven't really been watching much of it, but funny, I watched the Great Britain's women's football team today against Australia. What a great game of football that was!
What did it finish up? When I switched off,
4-3 after extra time.
Bloody hell!
We missed the penalty to go 3-2 up, and then Australia literally went down the other end and scored and went 3-2 up, and then they were just knackered, poor old girls. But
I do get quite into the women's international games. I think something like the international games, because the Women's World Cup is usually quite good.
I'll be honest, I think the Olympics peaked at 2012 and it'll never be beaten.
No, I'll be honest. I love the Olympics. I love watching the Olympics, and I come down. Was it yesterday? And it was the canoeing. And our girl went through. I think she won silver in the end. I think she was like the 6th from last to go, and the last 4 were like the best 4 in the world.
She was. They was talking about her yesterday. She was the one that campaigned for women to get into that sport, wasn't it? Because it was only men's only. That
they had women's in it, but that class wasn't in. It was only the male version was involved. This was the first time the female one was involved. But that, just coming down, I said I just woke up, come downstairs, put it on, and it got me hooked. If Britain ain't in the final, I'm not interested. I won't watch it. But if we're in there, I'll get behind whoever's in there.
Yeah, I think when I think of the Olympics, I think of like the 100 meters and all things like that, and that's what I'm looking forward to when that starts.
Yeah, absolutely. So, 6 X's, I'll call him. He's announced for all the X's, and he's got an X as his profile picture.
7
Are you taking your wife?
That ain't really 8, is it? He's got 7 X's.
Yeah. Are you taking your wives and girlfriends to Friday Night Pint Live? The wags, are the wags coming to Friday Night Pint Live? No, I'm not.
If they buy tickets,
yeah, 20 quid.
Unfortunately, someone has to look after the boys, so she can't come.
But, I suppose my wife would be there. I need someone to buy me drinks. Can't afford them.
Get the rounds in.
This is the question I've been waiting for. I was waiting for someone to bring this up.
We've been having debates in the group chat. Yeah, it's coming now.
Have you seen the Ghost? I'll tell you what. I watched that trailer the other day, right? And the ending where Ray picks up the phone. Honestly, even talking about it now, give me goosebumps, because I think I've never seen the women's version. I just didn't want nothing to do with it, so it wasn't right. This one is going to be good. I think it's never going to be as good as the original. You never beat the original, but I think what they're doing with it, and they're taking it towards the grandkids. And I think, and Paul Rudd, I think Paul Rudd's a good actor as well. And I know that Bill Murray's going to be making an appearance. Winston's going to be making an appearance. I'm sure they're going to try to get some sort of. I don't know how they're going to do it, but maybe Egon might make an appearance. I know that. I know he's not. I know he's dead, but I mean, they might be able to sort of work him into the film somehow. As like you might just only employ because they can do things like that, can't they? But
they did it with Peter Cushing in Star.
I don't know. I can't wait for it. Honestly, it got me. Especially when you see the Ecto 1 for the first time. I remember being a kid when that first scene, Ghostbusters 1, when the Ecto 1 pulls out of the station and you see it for the first time. It's going to be good.
I had the opposite things. I was so disappointed. When I saw the first trailer, I was disappointed. And then you sent this one in the group chat, and I was like, when I knew it was out, I didn't want to watch it. But I watched it, and I was even more disappointed because... when I heard that they was doing this one, because obviously the women's one, it was like, okay, this separate universe, it's about the women. This one, it was like, right, this is going to take place in the same universe. It's going to have the original characters in it. I thought they was going to get actors like Paul Rudd and, I don't know, the Seth Rogen or whatever, and they was going to pass the torch down to these new young actors to take their place. So that's what I was thinking it was going to be. And you was going to have a lot of like, Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray in it, and like, they're training the new ones. However, when I see it, it's about these kids that find all the stuff, and all of a sudden they know how to use it, and they're catching ghosts and shit.
Egon's grandkids.
Yeah, Egon's grandkids. They find it, and they're going on joyrides and they're in this little small town, and none of it had the same tone. And that was the problem with the women's one. It was like an overt modern American comedy rather than a comedy horror that had subtle humor. This doesn't seem like it's that. It seems sort of a bit of a drama.
This sort of looks like a mix between Ghostbusters and Stranger Things.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's where it's gonna. And funny enough, the kid from Stranger Things is in it. But no, I think it's going to be a decent film. It's never, as I said, you never touch the original. It'll never be anywhere near the original.
They could have just get the. I don't want to just see the original actors as cameos. We've been waiting for this for so many years, and there's been all this. Will they get Bill Murray? Won't they get Bill Murray? If you get fucking Bill Murray, have him in the whole bloody film. Don't have him.
Yeah, but you got to remember, Dan, they're old now.
That's it.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
It's a case of now this film's too far long gone for Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray to be in it.
Yeah, but they could be like the old, you remember Dodgeball?
Yeah,
you had the guy who was like, he's in the wheelchair and he's training the new Dodgeball team. And he's throwing wrenches at them.
Can you imagine the three remaining original cast members coming back? You couldn't have all three of them coming back to train people.
Why?
Because
imagine, right? This is the scenario.
Yeah,
the fucking ghosts are going mental again, right? They're all over the bloody place, right? It's a big pandemic. I don't want to use that word, but it's an epidemic of ghosts. They're like, shit, what are we gonna do? Oh no, the original Ghostbusters. Can you help us? Like, no, we're fucking old now. But what we can do is
but Dan, what you don't realise, you're saying that. Watch the trailer again. They ring up Dan Aykroyd.
I know they ring him up, and I feel like he's just going to go on the phone and going like, or he'll pop for a little bit, but it's not gonna.
But nah. Sorry, I can't be bothered. I'm having a drink tonight. I ain't coming out.
I hope that Winston. I don't like Winston. He let me down in Ghostbusters 2 when it all kicked off in the courtroom and he left them. He left the three of them to fight the Scoleri brothers, and Winston done a runner. I went off in them.
Yeah, he's early when he's still learning. He was still learning.
He shit himself. No, he didn't. He weren't learning. That was the second film. He's had a whole film.
Oh yeah. But still, he didn't have the tenure that they had. They're the expert on ghosts. He was just a recruit. He weren't the scientist that they were.
He was just there for the steady paycheck, as he said in number 1.
Steve said Dad should do a one-man show of Ghostbusters. No, I'll just do that. When Friday Night Pint Live, I'm just going to do a rant on Ghostbusters. Don't cancel your tickets.
It's one of them ones that you're either going to be really let down or you're going to think, they've done a decent job on that.
I'd be interested to hear what you say when because obviously we've seen trailers, you still don't know what it's going to be like.
No, listen. I'm going to go in with eyes open and just enjoy it for the film.
Well, obviously, you won't see the film if you ain't got your eyes open, Scott.
But you know what I mean. I'm not going to be expecting too much from it. I'm going to go into it and just let it be the film. Let it be its own individual film.
Only individual crap film.
Just remember, don't cross the streams.
That's it.
I bet they somehow know that not to cross the streams. I bet they know it inherently, and then they don't risk it anyway.
We'll see. Dan, I get your point, mate. I do get your point.
Yeah,
but I'm looking forward to it.
30 odd years in the making, and that's what we get.
Yeah. Has anyone sorted tickets for the Atalanta game?
I need to check with Damo because he bought Jace a ticket. Jace couldn't go, so I thought, I'll have that ticket so Damo don't waste money. And but he'll go and tell me he's giving it to someone else, and then I'll be screwed. So I know Nicky hadn't got his ticket as of yesterday and is planning to buy it. I'm not sure if you guys said you could go or not.
I'm not here. I'm away that weekend. My first game is going to be Leicester at home.
Yeah, I still need to see this fucking vaccine.
I think Scott's going up to Scott. You're going Newcastle, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going Newcastle because I'm not at Leicester.
Yeah, Nicky's going Newcastle. Newcastle. Huh?
First bloody home game of the season. I miss it.
Yeah, and you know, like that is, and I really hope that this vaccine passport shit don't come into place because I want to be that. Because I was, me and Nicky was talking about this in the video the other day and talking about what it will be like in that first game because everyone's going to be so up for it. It's going to be a night game under the lights. Everyone's going to be at the pub, and then you have that first bubbles and just being that first Premier League game back. I think that will be a special. I don't want to rub it in, Scott. Sorry, but
no, Dan. This is the whole reason I weren't going to the Atalanta game because I didn't think we should have had that friendly. We should have just had the first game back to the London Stadium being a Premier League game. And then they go and move it to a Monday night, which if it's on a Saturday, I can be there. But because it's Monday night, I can't. So that's a bit pissed me off, that is, to be honest.
So
especially as there's no reason to move that game because there's no Europa League. So we're going to get loads of games moved throughout the season. Why can't we just have that one on a bloody Saturday?
So apparently clubs are being told to do a trial for the vaccine passports. So they're going to trial it.
Well, the thing is, mate, I don't know how they're going to do it because I had my second jab and then get a phone call the other day going, you still need to book your second jab. I was like, no,
you activate tickets through the NHS app they're talking about because there's the NHS app that
I don't have the NHS app.
No, you'd have to get it, wouldn't you? That's the problem. You'd have to get it.
But I don't want it because I go football and then someone in the football has it and then that's it. I get pinged and I have to take time off work. So why do I want to download the app? It's ridiculous. I had the app, I deleted it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I've had the 2 jabs. It's on the NHS record. I've had the 2 jabs, so that should be enough. You want me to have a passport? You want me to have a passport? Give me a passport. Give me a card saying I've had both jabs. That has got my face.
Yeah, but Dave the doorman don't know you've had 2 jabs, does he?
And that's it. But that's what I'm saying. So give me a card. Give me a card.
You've got a card.
Yeah, that's it. So there we go. So that's it.
Do you know why they have it through? They want to do the app because you can give your card to anyone, but if it's through the app, there'll be a way to authenticate that it's you. Do you know what I mean?
But then, Dan, if you do it with the app, right? We sit in 1-3-1. Is that where we're sitting?
Yeah, 1-3-1.
We sit in 1-3-1. Someone's sitting in 2-4-1 or whatever it is. They've got COVID. We all get pinged.
Yeah.
10 days off work.
That's what they're trying to do. Yeah.
6 days now.
Oh, it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Well, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Well, don't even worry about that. You've got to worry about getting in with your smartphone, getting into the stadium.
That's pathetic. I'll be honest, mate. I think I'm going to print off the ticket all the time.
Yeah, you got her in you.
It's fucking stupid. But the problem is, and I was talking about this on a video that's going to come out. The problem with that is, I know we've touched on this whole thing a few times, but when you think about it, there's going to be a lot of just congestion of people. Like they've got it there because it's going on your phone, isn't it? So you go on your phone and then you're like, they're holding it, and then your phone, you're holding your phone and it goes to sleep. It's on sleep mode. They get there like, oh shit, got to unlock my phone. Shit, right, get it back up. I'll cut some password, get it back up, scan it. That when you start to get every other person or every 3 people doing that, the queues is going to be mental. Exactly. Like trying to get in. Just that whole. There'll be some people that will rock up, and then as soon when they get to the turnstile, then they'll take their phone out, then they'll unlock. You always get them people, like the people that go up to the fucking checkout and don't have their money ready, and you're like, thinking, come on, now you're looking, counting your pennies. That's what it will be like. So the queues.
I was reading on the website earlier as well. They're not opening any of the toilets in the ground as well, so you got to hold it until you get home.
You're joking.
I'm joking.
I was going to say,
fucking hell, man. No, that would have been. That'd be mad. I know what Ryan's answer will be to this on cane leg, UFC or boxing.
Right, hold on. Sorry, hold on. So, I didn't know this. The NHF is for the passports, not the app that pings you. That's fair enough. I didn't know that. So,
yeah,
that's fine. That's fine. I'm happy with that.
Apologise, Scott.
No, I didn't know there was 2 apps. I didn't know there was 2 apps. So,
gave him all that grief, and then you was wrong.
I'm double. As I said, I'm double jabbed, so it's not a problem for me. But I didn't realise there was 2 different apps, so not a problem.
Yeah.
By the way, boxing.
Yeah, Scott.
Yeah, boxing.
I say, UFC for me. UFC. I love grappling and stuff like that, and I've done before. I really just all the extra layers to it. I mean, boxing's great in that, but there's so much more to the UFC. The different styles that you can blend and all of that, and submission.
Matt's saying, since I lived in Essex, have I had a jazzle? I get it done probably every 6 weeks. Sometimes I usually get it with Graham's name. But what I've done now is I've had a proper clean shave and I've got the jazzle eyebrows.
That would be such a great forfeit. Whoever loses gets the jazzle eyebrows.
That's not a forfeit. That's my way of life.
I'm trying to put this question up. What do you? We haven't talked really about Lanzini all the time. What do you think we should do with Lanzini? He's under the radar. It was a lot of rumours that I saw something that said we was looking to sell him, but Moyes seems to have changed his mind and is looking to is happy to keep him this season, which is interesting.
I'd keep Lanzini. I think
it's another player, isn't it? We're talking about when fit.
Yeah, I think he'd be vital in Europe. I think Lanzini for the European campaign and the cups, maybe for the league it might, but I'll keep him. I wouldn't sell him unless someone offers silly money for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm with you. He's another one of them with his injury problems, but we saw he's another option playing in that centre and midfield. The game where he played there, he played really well.
He deserves a lifetime contract. He deserves a lifetime contract just for that equaliser at Spurs away last season.
Fuck yeah, we can't sell him now. We can't. There's a good offer coming. But
I'll be honest, if we had plenty of cover, I'd let him go just because of his injury record. But he's still got something to offer.
I wouldn't want to see him go on the cheap. Do you know what I mean? Like if an half decent offer come in, I'd be like, yeah, all right.
Yeah,
like 2 million or something. Oh, Brentford.
Ken Ammers wants to know, is any of us going to the Brentford tomorrow? Do you know what? I'm not. Do you know what? I didn't think we was going to be allowed to any of the games. So I've got obviously things planned for the weekends up until new season. So I was meant to have a sort of like family party tomorrow, but which was meant to be outdoors. It now looks like it's going to be moved indoors unless it gets soaking wet. But
I'm the same. That completely caught me unawares. That did. I couldn't believe that.
I hope everyone that going. I think Kent's going as well. I'm sure he said the other week he was going. So
well up for that.
Yeah, enjoy yourself. There's one ground I never got to go to when they used to be at Griffin Park. I know they've moved now and they've got that new stadium, which is a weird looking stadium. It's like got all the funny colour seats in it, and it's like a weird sort of shape. But good luck to everyone. Well, not good luck, but enjoy yourself tomorrow. I'm sure there'll be a few people meeting up that haven't seen each other for a little while, and
it's just nice if you're going to get back to a bit of normality, isn't it? Going to football. I'm
not being funny, but I've been out the last couple of weeks since lockdown's been lifted, and I've been out to pubs, I've been to restaurants, I've been up London, and it sort of feels like we're getting back to normal a bit. Even when I go in shops now and shopping centres like Lakeside, you don't have to wear a mask, and it just feels like you are. There are some people that still wear them, and that's fair enough. I've got no problem with, but You know, when we go in the restaurants now, you can just. I mean, I had to go up and order a drink at the bar the other day. I thought, you lazy bastards. Now I've got to get up and actually order a beer. No, you can't. I want table service again.
Yeah. I'll be honest. That's one of the things I've liked about these figures is the fact that it has to be table service. They bring it saves you going at the bar.
No, I hate table service, man. I like to just go to the bar and get it done. You know, I just want to go there, boom, boom, boom. None of this piss about with apps and wait. You don't know when you're going to get
it depends what pub you go to. Some pubs were right on it. Like literally, you'd order it on the app, and a minute later they're bringing it over.
And the thing is, as well, Dan, that's fine until the bar's like 5 deep.
Yeah, but then even still, when it's table service and it's that busy anyway, it's still gonna be waiting long. I suppose you can wait at your table.
Yeah, exactly. You're not standing up there. You look at the bar, you think, that's 5 deep. I've got half a pint left. Hang on, I'll order another one now. Time we finish that one, it's there. You ain't to get out your seat, you know.
That's why you should maybe order 2 pints at a time. But I tell you what, it was buzzing at the London Stellar. Me and Nicky was saying this as well. Like, you wouldn't know the pandemic just happened because it was buzzing around there. There was people making roller skate TikTok videos, kids playing in the fountains, and
it's nice to see, isn't it? It's nice to see that we're just like it's slowly going back to normal, but it just feels like we're sort of back to a bit of normal reality, and it's nice. And as I said, like I went up to the Blues Kitchen in Shoreditch the other night, and there was people in there. They had a live band. There was people up dancing. You know, bar. So it was really, really good atmosphere in there, and it was just nice. It just felt like being back to normal.
Yeah, absolutely. So
no, I agree, mate. I agree. Rory 9889 says, "Mask or no mask?"
9889. You sure about that?
No, 7889. Sorry.
Scott just give us his PIN number there. No, I'm no mask. I'm no mask. Unless you give me the mask that Jim Carrey put on in The Mask. I like that one.
I'm not. Go on, Scott.
No, go on, mate.
No, I was going to say, I'm not, like I said, I'm like what Scott Ryan said earlier, you know, I respect people's choices and that, but it's just now that the restrictions have been lifted, you know, I don't really wear it, you know, I go in the shop now and don't wear it just because I was so, do you know what I mean? We had to wear, I hated it. I hated wearing my, and the thing is, I don't mind, when you go in the shop now and you're the only one wearing it, I feel like an idiot if I'm the only, so...
No, it's like when I walk around the shop sometimes, there are still people wearing them, and I've got no problem with people wearing masks. You know, it's up to them. And I was on a train the other day, and there was a woman sitting opposite us, and she was wearing a mask, and she was looking at us like we was in the wrong. But I said, "Listen, love," I said, "I don't want to wear a mask, and if you got any problems, ask Boris. He's told us I ain't got to wear it anymore, and I'm all right. I'm double jabbed as well."
See, I'll probably still wear it. Like today, I went out today. I popped to the bank, went to the supermarket, and I forgot my mask. I was the only person in the bank without one on, and I was one of a few that were in the supermarket without one on. And it was just because of the fact I forgot it. You know, public transport, I'm still going to wear it for now.
It's, you know what it was? It was that thing. There was a point where, you know, that sometimes the other day I realised I was like, oh shit, I forgot my mask, and I was like, wait a minute, we don't have to wear the mask. I hated that. Like always having to think.
Yeah, you're so used to wearing it and having to take a mask. I've done it as well. Even when I met up with yous yesterday, I took one just in case. Because you don't know, do you?
Well, it actually mentioned in the thing, like if we was going to be in the pub, when you're moving around, you got to wear a mask, which I think I always hated that. Going to a pub. And it's like, if I sit down at the table, I don't have to wear a mask. But if I want to go for a piss or anything like that, I've got to put my mask when I'm moving around the pub. Like, what's the point? Most people...
Yeah, see, that side of it's a bit silly.
Yeah, I want to go to the jukebox, got to put a mask on.
Yeah, exactly. You know, as I said, I was lucky in a way. You know, I was lucky. I've worked all the way through all this. You know, all the way through. I've been around people who had it, and I never caught it. And I've been very, very lucky. You know, a lot of people haven't been lucky. You know, they've caught it and it's caused them a lot of serious problems. I've been lucky, but it's just the fact that I think for me, wearing a mask on things like public transport and stuff like that, it highlights a lot of other things, you know. And I'm a big believer of this has been a warm up for something that's going to come along, whether it be another 10 years down the line, that's going to be a lot worse. You know, so Yeah, but instead,
Happy Friday.
Yeah, but no, I'm just saying it's like I'm probably not going to wear it for much longer. I didn't wear it today because I forgot it. But it's now not. We make sure you got your keys, you got your phone, you got your wallet. And during the pandemic, it was your keys, your phone, your wallet, and your mask.
Nothing worse. The amount of times I've had to go all the way back home to get a fucking mask.
The amount of times I go out the car, go and pay for petrol, and thought, oh shit, and then go back to the car. It's
pain in the arse.
Dan, before we get on to this one, I didn't eat any food in the George. Everyone with me did, and they said it was really nice. I think I had a few scraps of theirs, but the food was quite nice there.
There we go.
Good few weeks ago, I was in. I think it was about 2 months ago. I was in the George.
Why didn't you eat, Scott?
I'd eaten before I went out. I lie in my stomach.
Oh, right.
God, Dad, you go back to your one. Sorry.
No, I was just saying that. I just see that Matt saying who listens to jukeboxes nowadays. I do. If you're in the pub and you get a chance to have control over the music, and we know how I feel about music, I'm very particular. I'm going to get on that jukebox, stick a couple of quid in, and stick a good amount of songs on, so I have to, get to enjoy myself. Like, what are you going to do? Otherwise, you're letting other people control the music. Do you guys do jukeboxes when you go to the pub? Do you stick a few quid in?
Do you know what?
I didn't think pubs still had jukeboxes.
The ones I go to do.
I like a jukebox. I'm with you, Dan. I like a jukebox. Not so much, you go out, you want to be in control of music. I just like jukebox. The nostalgia of it. It's
I'm not saying I don't like them. I just haven't been in a pub where I've seen one. Like, I can't remember the last time. I think it was the 90s.
Well, I'm the pub, the Lamb in Romford, where I was going out of the jukebox. I was talking about when someone put thingy on. What was it? What's that fucking? What's the band that I really was Oasis on? My local had it, right, and this is the This is the downside of jukebox, right? We was in my local, the Roundhouse, and someone put on 10. Is it 10cc that sang Dreadlock Holiday, wasn't it? 10cc. I think it was 10cc. And he put on like this loads of 10cc, but he didn't put on any of the songs that you would know. And it was just awful. It was absolutely painful. And that is the problem. If you let someone with bad taste in music get in charge of that jukebox, get in control, and they want to stick in fucking 5 £1 coins, you're in for a bad time. But if you can slip in there and
sticking to the music thing, what was the first ever CD you ever bought?
Cool, CD.
Mine was a right random one. Mine was Slam Jam. Which was a wrestling song, SummerSlam wrestling song. That was about 92, I think it was.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was the first one I ever bought. Out of my own money, pocket money.
Jam. God.
Yeah, it was either Michael. I had a lot of Michael Jackson tapes, but it was either Michael Jackson. Or I think it might have been Richard Blackwood, Mama used to say. Yeah.
I remember that song.
Yeah, he was his cover of the hit from Junior.
When did CDs come out?
Oh,
early 90s, wasn't it? No, 80s, yeah.
80s, but cassettes were still about. Cassettes, because I had quite a few cassettes, but yeah, 80s. So
I wouldn't have bought a CD till the 90s.
Yeah.
You almost probably sound like Wet Scott or something.
I never read it.
Love is all around, playing it in his car over and over again.
Do you know what? One of my first CDs probably would have been one of the Now albums.
Yeah, everyone had Now albums.
Yeah, Now albums. Yeah, we had a couple of.
What is it now? It must be about now 1,000,006 or something.
Yeah, I had Mambo No. 5 on single as well. And I couldn't listen to it anymore because that got played to death everywhere you went. My brother bought Blue Dabba Dee, and I got Mambo No. 5. And I was jealous of my brother, even though I could still listen to it. I was like, I wish I got fucking Blue Dabba Dee instead of Mambo No. 5 because I got so sick of Mambo No. 5.
Lincoln Harper saying, "Oi, lads, can we get a shout out to all the Dublin Hammers? Let's be having ya. Big shout out to all the Dublin Hammers, all the Irish Hammers. Come on, you Dublin.
That's that's where my
watching.
family's from, Ringsend. If you know Ringsend in Dublin, shout out to everyone there, Ringsend.
Oh, shout out to Ringsend in Dublin.
So the old shout outs there. said, I got fucking mouse. Every time I put this camera in, Graham's first CD was Vera Lynn.
Graham was actually invited for the recording of Mozart. Oh, bless Graham. I do miss him.
Gramophone.
I'll tell you what, though, Scott, we obviously went away with Graham last weekend. What a laugh he was last weekend.
Oh, mate, he was on top form.
It was non-stop from the moment he come to my house, and he come here, and I obviously took him up there with me. From the moment he got in my car to the moment I dropped him off, we just didn't stop laughing all weekend. Yeah. It was a great weekend.
So, it was fun. He proper. He seemed to unwind, didn't he?
He got me on the Jack Daniels that weekend. Every time I go with Graham, he always gets me straight on Jack Daniels. Like,
oh, mate, that's what I said. We ended with, you think we were taking it easy on meant to be taking it easy Saturday night, and 4:30 in the morning I went to bed.
Yeah, I don't know what you were doing.
For a couple.
Yeah, I know. I went to bed a little bit earlier than that because I said, look, we've got to be. What about the nutty cab ride we had home, Scott? Them cab drivers up there, mate, they got no licenses. I swear. He was driving on the other side of the road. He was on his phone. He was hitting the curb, wasn't he?
Dan, you know how Graham's like when he's driving, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Graham is one of these people. If you're a bad driver and he's sitting in the front, he's like doing the old phantom braking and he's holding on and all this. Right. I'm sitting in the back of this cab. This cab driver, we're going through country lanes, right? It's pitch black country lanes. And he gets up this arse of this car. And when I mean he's that close to the backside of this car, I could read what was on the radio of the front, like on the radio of the car in front from the back seat of the car that I was in. We were that close. And my eyesight ain't that great. And all I could think of Graham sitting there now like this. He'd nodding off to sleep.
Dan, you know when you was younger, what was one of the first things that your mum ever told you? Don't accept anything off of strangers.
Yeah.
Well, we've had all the COVID thing and all you got to keep your distance. Saturday night outside our hotel talking to a complete stranger and his wife, who was a lovely bloke, by the way. Scott eats one of his pork pies that I don't even know where he got it from. He just randomly took off he had an act, didn't he, Scott?
Yeah.
And he was showing, and then he was from East. Where was he from? Forest Gate or something
Forest
like that.
Gate. Yeah,
he was up there for a wedding. Lovely bloke, by the way. But then he just randomly pulled out a two. He's obviously taken them back from the wedding. And he's gone, yeah, do you want a pork pie? And Scott, no hesitation. Scott's just gone, yeah, go on then. Oh,
he must have been starving.
Brilliant, mate.
I was drunk.
Yeah, I was drunk.
Yeah, I think we all were, mate.
Yeah, you're in the Britain's drop, didn't they? So,
we haven't seen Scott's wife.
Not for strangers.
Burnley's got Scott's wife now. Like the Hangover.
I'm actually popping down to the Cherry Tree now. Meet Jace up there. They've got apparently got an 80s DJ going on. So Cherry Tree Pub in Dagenham, yeah, in the old.
Oh, is that the one that my aunt and uncle live opposite that pub?
Oh, do they? Yeah, it's on the main road. Yeah, it's on the main road there. Yeah, it's good. But it used to be a bit of a dive, but they've done it all up there now, and it's quite a good pub now. Really good. So nice little beer garden, and they've got we was watching the World Cup, little booths outside with tellies in it, and yeah, so it's pretty good. But you got some 80s going on there. Yeah, I'll have a bit of that.
What, you going there tonight?
Yeah. I might see Jason be there.
We'll let you go then, mate. We'll finish it up now anyway. We've gone on for 2 hours. But yeah, no, thanks to everyone in the chat getting involved, giving us your questions and your comments. We really appreciate it. As we've said a couple of times tonight, there's still tickets available for Friday Night Pint. This time in 2 weeks, we'll be off that stage and we'll be on that dance floor. And you can come up and you can have a dance with Graham. You can have a beer with Jimmy Walker. You can have a pork pie with Scott. You can request all your songs if you can get Dan out of the way of the DJ.
I'll be on his case.
But yeah, no, it's going to be great. You know, look, we're all looking forward to it. It's going to be a great night on the eve of the Premier League season. I think Arsenal are playing that night as well, Brentford. So we can all laugh at Arsenal losing their opening game to Brentford. But
someone's asked, are we doing a watch along tomorrow? I need to speak to Nicky. I don't know if he's going to be in Bradford. He does their weekend, but we can. What time's the game? What time's kickoff? Does anyone know?
3 o'clock, I think.
3 o'clock. Yeah, we'll confirm it. We'll put a tweet out. I'll talk to Nicky, and hopefully, we'll try and do a watch along tomorrow for the Brentford game. So, it was good doing it again for the Celtic game and
Boris Johnson. Any tickets left, my friends? Boris. There are a few tickets left, Prime Minister. So if you want to come along, you can join us, mate.
Be good. £80 for you.
Jimmy Walker and Boris Johnson in the same room. That'd be a good night out, wouldn't it? Did you see that video of Boris Johnson trying to undo that umbrella? I'll tell you what, he makes me laugh. Even Prince Charles cracked a fucking smile.
Andrew McDonald, he always thank you, Andrew McDonald, for the $25. But I'm sure he always puts in $25, but never puts a comment with it.
No, he don't need to. He says it all in that. Here's your money, boys. Have a good night. But
say it best when
talking about Friday night pint even. Steve WHU Bell says I can see us all getting mullered by 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
I've been noticing Steve's comments all night, and last week as well. And he's right looking forward to this piss up. I remember him. Steve's the one that asked if there's any local pubs that you can go to before you can go into the venue. So Steve's right on it, mate. And trust me, we'll be right behind you.
Pace yourself, I'd say. You don't want to get pissed at 8:30 though, and then that's it. You're out for the night.
Hang on.
Pace yourself.
Boris, you said no face mask, mate, so that's a fake account.
Yeah, no face mask. Well, I don't know, yeah.
Hand sanitizer, though. Yeah, Nicky will have the hand sanitizer. He works for the Moyes.
Moyes hand sanitizer.
Moyes, yeah. Nicky will be handing out the hand sanitizer. But no,
we've got to play that song for Nicky. You know, the Moyes touch.
Yeah.
We'll play that for Nicky.
He's the man with the Moyes touch. But look, we'll leave it there. Keep subscribing to the channel. Give us a thumbs up. Dan might be back tomorrow with a watch along, but if not, we'll be back during the week with some more videos. So, boys, one thing left to say.
Come on, you irons.
Wash your hands.